Hey, welcome back to Second Run Gaming. I'm Austin and we are here with another episode of Massive Chalice. We left off last time in the middle of a battle, so we're going to finish up that battle right now. Last I remember there was a lapse over here. Took a couple of them out actually, and so as far as Fog of War for the map, we've got a little bit over here, so there could be something lurking, but the majority of it is all up in here. So I think our best move is just to kind of keep trucking forward. There might be a few straggler enemies over here, but it looks like it connects further on this side, so we might be able to kind of deal with them just if we move up forward. So Jess is going to be, again, our stealthy scout, so we're going to focus on having her kind of go forward. Okay, so we did reveal some seeds. Looks like a lapse as well. I'm going to check and see. She sprinted, so she hasn't actually revealed them, which is really helpful. Anders will, move as much as he possibly can. They're pretty far up there. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to have Balon head over to this side. I'm going to have Charlotte just move over one. And we'll keep... Actually, yeah, we'll move Tragan over one as well. Just in case they are kind of a little bit in sight. I feel like they're not. Yeah, I don't think they know that we're there. So, that's hopeful for us. Okay, one of the seeds moved up enough to where I think Anders might actually have a good shot. So we'll try, if we can, to get a shot with Anders out of this. Well, he fucking missed, so. Way to go, dude. The lapse up there is definitely one of the main ones we're going to want to take out. I'm going to see if Tragan can't just lob a flask over there. 30% is pretty bad, but fuck it. It worked. Pretty sure Tragan's pessimistic, so
your advice?
he's got a higher shot than he thinks he does. We actually got a level up for that too, and 2 kills, took that lapse out no problem. Kind of frees up the rest of our people here as well. Since Sidara already has that nickname, I'm pretty confident that she's good, so I'm going to start to try and get Balon to get some of that experience since he has a relic on him. And since he's so young, he's going to be in our vanguard for a while to come. And then we'll have Jess move up just a little bit, so I don't want to trigger anything else too much. Looks like there's 2 seeds over here. I'll have her use her flask shot. Why not? Just take them both out for now so we don't have to worry about them. Because you don't think it would be an issue, but if we do have a bunch of enemies randomly run into frame at the beginning of our next turn, having an extra seed, that does take up potentially a shot from somebody. Plus, get some experience for Jess, since we want her to get a relic, hopefully, for her bloodline as well. Yep, because now we're going to really want to have everybody focused on that Twitcher. Okay. Let's see how we want to do this. Going to have Jess over here, because I want to keep everybody a little bit separate. The Twitchers switch places and then immediately does like an attack of opportunity pretty much, so we want everybody to be as spread out as we can if we can't take out the Twitcher just in one fell swoop. I'm gonna move Tragan up here. Okay, well, we're gonna have to kind of just deal with that most likely. That flask can almost take that Twitcher out just immediately. I mean, I'll see if Sidara can't... This is when my math skills have to come into play. If she goes here, that's her potential charge up to the Twitcher. We'll see if she can't just knock him out. Nope, and that actually makes things a lot worse. I've just kind of fucked us a little bit more, so Tragan doesn't have another option except for to go through this lapse now. Okay, so at this point we're just going to focus on getting Balon up here, but I'm going to keep him a little bit separate, a little bit behind cover, so he's not going to be targeted hopefully by the Twitcher. And Anders is really not in trouble, but is also not really any help. So that wasn't super bad, but Sidara is stunned, so she's kind of out of commission for this next turn. Just going to kind of put focus on not revealing any more of the map, just getting this Twitcher out of the way. Awesome. And then Tragan, do I trust it? Because Balon can't quite get there. We'll have Anders sprint, because, I mean, why not? I think if Balon moves... yikes. Yeah, that's tough, because if Balon moves here, his charge is still off, so he cannot do anything. So it's really all on Tragan, whether or not we trust him to not do just the 12 damage. I don't really, so I think he might have to use one more flask, which means we'll be really light on flasks. Don't miss. Didn't miss. Perfect. Oh, perfect, and that was the last one.
Lives saved are the real trophies of the day.
Heroes fight harder when they know they're taken care of.
So weirdly enough, Sidara actually didn't even get any kills on that one. Balon got 2, Anders got 2, surprisingly, but it was really Tragan and Jess that were leading the charge there. Okay, let's see here. So I'm gonna give her that extra item slot since we do have those experience scarves now. And Tragan, even though he is 58, he may, if he really lives long, he might be in at least one more battle. So we're gonna give him, let's look at this. Throw items. So gain the ability to throw equipped items, increasing their area of effect. Not too bad. That's like throwing health vials and stuff. An acid solution. Melee attacks and flasks also deliver corrosive acid, which damages targets over time. Way better, at least for the way that Tragan has already been going. So we're definitely gonna do that. Okay. Balon is seriously right there on leveling up, which is pretty good. Let's get going. That was a quick one. And we got Zoriel, Sunspire. Nice. We'll check them out. So yeah, what we're going to start to notice here is pretty much every outer territory except for one has the cadence on it, which means that's not really going to change. We're just going to try and limit it as much as we can. I'm going to check out our hero that we just got. Zoriel Sunspire. I really like their flag. Oof. Terrible traits. Terrible traits. We don't have anybody in the Sage Rights Guild. We still really light on people, so I feel like that's kind of necessary right now. I'm just gonna check and see what Zoriel's intuition is, because he has shitty traits that I don't really want him to give to anybody. So I don't think we're gonna really use him as far as marriage is concerned. I think that would be a risky move. So I'm gonna actually induct him into the Sage Rights Guild, and in addition to that, let's look at the other guy we have here, Edmund. He's 38. We're gonna keep him for now. He was the spouse of our last Raiden line. It's unlikely that he will be the spouse for somebody else, but if we do have a regent, you know, die in an untimely way, we might want someone else there just in the background before we get our new heroes. But if he's still just doing his own thing in the next 4 years, we'll probably add him to the Sage Rights Guild too.
The regent will be able to recover from this.
Ooh, yep, see,
We've always been stronger than we expected.
I had a feeling. So Sean Overholt, partner of Regent Meek Marquand, has died at the age of 66. And Meek is so old. And she hasn't had kids in so long. But at this point, fuck it. We'll throw Edmund in there, see if maybe some you know, new vigor is brought into our 83-year-old regent. Maybe get one kid out of it, because that keep does have increased fertility, but nobody in it currently. The Raiden household has one trainee. Liu's got one trainee. The Van Houtens have one trainee. So fingers crossed we get a couple more baby icons popping up in the next year or two. That's not what I wanted, but that's okay. So Sidara Raiden has died at the age of 62. Her last battle was fought at 61, so she really was super close to kicking it. But like we had hoped, her legend will survive through the bloodline relics baptized in our champion's act of heroism. So let's see what relic she left behind. The Black Fly. Interesting name, but she had an interesting nickname too. So Balon already has a relic. Koinen is the one who's not terrible, but not great, which is why we gave it to Balon last time. But I don't know if we have anybody else to give this to this time. Now, Haru could be good. Haru's got great stats. But if we have a fight in the next 10 years, we're going to want to bring a Raiden with us. And Haru's got great stats. That's tough. Haru does have great stats. Koinen's got shitty stats. But since Haru has good stats, might want Haru to be whoever takes over after Trevor. Though Trevor's only 35. So actually no, we're gonna go ahead and try and play the long game here. We're gonna give the Black Fly to Haru, because he'll be of age in about 10 years. And hopefully he'll only miss probably like one battle in between that time.
That will be a hard throne to fill.
You'll manage.
I mean, I'm happy that we had Meek for as long as we did. That's a blessing. But also, that keep was about to be in danger if she somehow made it to like 100 or something. So I think that's really good. We've still got a ton of Marquands, so let's check the fertility rates and see who we can bring in. I'd like to bring in just the youngest person, honestly. So we've got River, who's not bad. He's got really good traits, actually. It would be nice to have him kind of carry on the line for the relic that Tragan's gonna push forward, because Tragan's most likely gonna pass away pretty soon here. Let me check on Holly. Not great. She's likely to die soon too. And Cressida is also likely to die soon. All of these guys are likely to die soon. I think right now we need to get someone in there that isn't gonna pass on a trait like heart disease, because it seems like that is something that has happened. No, Emilio has longer lifespan, but again, we want someone with longer lifespan to not be in our regency. So I don't really think we have another choice other than River. And as far as a partner, we are going to have to pick somebody. We can throw another Marquand because we had so many regents. We actually have some Marquands that are not fully related, so they're cousins. But honestly, right now, I think that's kind of our only bet, which kind of sucks. Well, Holly doesn't have great traits. Cressida also doesn't have great traits. But we don't want him stuck with somebody who's going to live a long time like Emilio. And Simone also doesn't have great traits. I'm going to throw Holly in there because she is younger. And she does have the Tranquil personality trait, so hopefully that gets passed along. Really though, we do need to get some Marquands in there. If we can. Again, the Alchemist class, since there's only one in the Vanguard at a time, it's most important that they just stay alive to continue on. Okay. Well, let's keep going. That's what I like to see. That is also what I don't like to see. So Tragan Marquand has died at the age of 62. So Tragan did get a nickname, but like I said, since he had that relic on him, he doesn't get a new one. He just gets to pass it down to a descendant. Barley wine. Now this is the tough thing. Is all of our Marquands are old as shit. And so, you know, we could pass it on to one of them, and then, you know, they'll have it in battle for maybe the one battle that they'll fight before they pass on further. I could see that happening. I'm not going to give it to anybody who's slow. And Dan is not too bad, but he's almost 70. Which is not great. I want to give it to Sky. But Sky is going to take 15 years to be able to actually be out on the battlefield, and we will probably need a Marquand in our next battle. So I think I'm going to give it to Cressida for now, and when she passes, especially because she has heart disease, so she may not live super long, she'll give it to Sky.
At least they were together at the end.
Oh, right before we got new heroes. So Holly has passed away, which means River needs to pick a new partner. I actually, though, I'm glad they had at least one kid. I'm gonna wait the 7 entire days to get new heroes. Okay, so we got Yolumba, Ijo, Malistron, Tristan, and Kevin. It's crazy that like almost everybody that we get from the Chalice are just alchemists on alchemists on alchemists. It's wild to me. I don't feel like I've ever experienced that in another playthrough. It's usually a lot more balanced, but I guess it's just the game wants us to have alchemists. Okay, so let's check the newbies that we have. So Ijo, strong-willed, increased dexterity, increased XP, wily, and stalwart. All 5 of those traits are amazing. Yolumba, not as good. And that's it. So it's a pretty easy decision. Ijo is also only 20, so both of these guys should be in the Regency for quite a while. Hell yeah. I can't believe we're getting close to year 150. And then actually, yeah, thank you for reminding me, game. We need to pick another research project. Okay, so we just got some new heroes. We're still really light. I think I'm going to do the hero discovery boost right now, because if we do discover more heroes in the future, which I'm sure we will, 2 extra is going to be helpful, and I think we're stable enough that we can spend those 14 years doing that. The Raiden household is still super light. If they don't pick their shit up soon, we're going to probably need to have them adopt another baby. But Haru is one that I believe they actually just had. And the Liu line has 2, so that's doing good. I'm feeling good about the rest of the keeps. I'm just still worried about the rateds. Dang. Well, that did not last long. Cressida has died. She did not fight in battle, but she was given the relic. Sky's only 2 years of age. At this point, I'm gonna give it to Dan, because of the 3 units that we have, he's the best to have to be forced to go into a battle. He's also 70, so again, he's probably gonna pass away before Sky comes of age. I'm glad that we put River in there though, because this is our whole Marquand line. Since they're all older and they're all passing away, we've only got 5, including River and Sky. Alright, Dan, do it some good.
Mind behind one of our more interesting curricula.
I'm not sure the trainees would call it that. Was definitely interesting to watch, though.
So Dragos Moldanovo has died at 53. So he was the standard for about 20 years. Not super long, but, you know, something. I'm tempted to throw Yolumba for it, but actually Sharon's a great pick because she's not in our Vanguard anymore. She's all the way up to 50. You'll remember we replaced her just because she was slow, and we needed a Van Houtness in there. So I'm going to throw Sharon in there, get her to do some good, because the Liu region isn't super old, I believe, so this is probably the best spot for her. Let's check on those keeps again. No new kids yet for any of them. And Dan has died at 71. One whole year. Ooh, slim pickings here. I'm gonna give it to Simone. She's 63, but she's spry, which means she doesn't have as many negative effects for old age. Both of these guys are slow. Emilio has longevity though, so she has the possibility of living for fucking forever. But I want Skye to get this relic. If we have to fight and we have to have a Marquand in there, I'd rather them have a relic if they can. Hey, kids. That's what I like to see.
You can't make this stuff up.
So Zoriel, one of our Sage Rights, one of our younger ones. Sage Right or Sage Wrong? A dart falcon crashes into your lap bearing a message from the Sage Right Zoriel. As stipulated by the guild, I've spent 20% of my time on my own projects and the results are finally ready. I'm calling it the Parabox. Like Paradox, but a box. It's a gear and pulley monstrosity with a beautiful mahogany finish, but I'm not quite sure what it actually does. Please advise and don't forget to feed the falcon. So we have a couple options. One, we can order the augurs to activate the Parabox. We can order the augurs to destroy the Parabox. Or we can have the Parabox sent here and put into the Chalice. This is probably always going to bite me in the butt, but it actually went well last time. I am going to elect to do the dumb thing that we always do and put it in the Chalice. It'll probably disappear, which isn't necessarily bad. I don't really want them to open it at the Sage Rights Guild because if it does create an issue, it could like be really bad. So yeah. Expedited shipping. You send the Falcon away with your request. The following morning you receive a reply confirming the Parabox's delivery to you and that due to the extreme delicacy of both boxing and transporting it, the device won't arrive for quite a while. Looks like the Parabox is being shipped and will revive in about 6 years. Quite the trek. And see, I had a feeling there would be a battle.
I'm not sure that's even a possibility these days.
So this is tough because we have a keep over here with 1 cadence on it, and we have our Sage Rights Guild over here. It looks like we get an alchemist either way, and since I was talking about, oh, it's a caberjack over here, which I prefer, but the main thing to pay attention to, as always, is the fact that, you know, if we lose the Sage Rights Guild, we can build another. I could even build it on this territory right here. If we lose a keep, though, yeah, sure, we can build another, but can we build it fast enough before, say, the Marquand line, which is already light as it is, dies out? Probably not. So we're going to elect to defend their keep in that region. It'll mean that there are 2 cadence markers on the Sage Rights Guild, which is the most that it's ever had, but we'll just keep an eye on it and we should be fine. So we did lose both Tragan and Sidara, so now we're really on to some of our new people. Anders is still kicking it, 56 and slow as hell, but he does have that relic. We've got Jess kind of shouldering the burden of being a hunter who's not super slow and useless, and then we've got Balon. Okay, so I want a Marquand and ideally another Raiden. Simone is the one that's got our relic from the Marquand household, so she's going to be the one that's in there on that. And then I don't believe are Raiden's. They do have a second relic, but I believe it was given to that kid who's not quite of age yet. So we're gonna just bring in a placeholder for this. Well, it's not gonna be Baba because Baba's slow, so coin in it is. Let's do it. We've got lapses, wrinklers, and cradles, which is a really tough combo. We've got some expendable people, honestly, in our Vanguard this time around. But either way, I'm confident. I think we'll be okay. Let's do it.
May the horns of battle carry you to victory.
Nice. It looks like we have a nice little stealthy spot. Sorry, horns, I interrupted you. That's on a coast, so we know that there's no enemies back here. They're only going to be over in this general direction or straight up north. I'm going to end the episode here since we're actually in a really good spot. We can pick things right up just being strategic and taking things a little slow, since we do have some squishier people in our Vanguard this battle that usually aren't. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.